Oh, we are live. All right.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you.
Let me just adjust the settings because I think I was too loud there. Hello, how are you all doing? It's been a while since we've streamed actually. I think it's been what, 6 months, maybe? I'm not too sure. But
Oh,
anyway, I hope
it
you
might be
all
the year.
hope you all had a lovely New Year's and holidays and all that. I discovered that on YouTube you can just leave a message for your community or whatever the fuck. So I left one of those out here. Hello, Mr. Roquek to the stars. I don't know if I fucked that up, but hope you're having a lovely day. Hope Skog's having a lovely day. Uh, I guess I'll explain what we're all here for. I'm here with Cross and hopefully another fella if he actually shows up. We'll see.
Hi, it's me. I'm the one who's here.
Yes. A month ago, Skog. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a wee
Uh,
while. Just been busy with stuff. I think everyone can empathize with that. Uh,
hmm
so today we're here because there is a lovely channel called the Templin Institute on YouTube. I've watched them from time to time. They've done some pretty alright videos. Ashy Cross, tell us what you think about them for a minute.
Oh no. Shit. I'm not going to be mean, but I am familiar with this channel. More so in the lore
Yeah.
aspect. I didn't realize he done like things like how a navy ship works, because that actually sounds pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm only aware of this channel, Templin Institute, in relation to lore videos, and yeah, granted they are quite detailed. I just find the presentation a bit on the on the dull side, to
Yeah.
be honest.
So he mainly talks about yeah, like Cross said, lore videos. So he'll do some videos saying like the Sith Empire and this is the Sith Empire in Star Wars and what they did and what they're all about, what their government's like and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's
granted they are
most
informative.
they're
It's just they're very present
fairly
dull.
informative, like they're pretty typical
Yeah,
for most kinds of
yeah,
YouTube, what you'd expect on YouTube. He
yeah,
kind of like I said, it's very just by the numbers. You could kind of look this stuff up online or through some other source, and you'd get mostly the same experience. So for me, they're
yeah,
not particularly valuable videos. The videos I
yeah.
do like are the more niche ones he's done, where he'll discuss like how an interstellar navy might work if you're writing your own setting, or how
hmm
a let's see. I listen to time to what they are posting. Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Templin's something I'll occasionally tune into if
hmm
he's got an interesting video that catches my eye, but otherwise, it's just a lore channel, and I kind of,
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a nerd and know a lot of like lore
yeah.
from most franchises, so it's not useful to me really.
Yeah, it's not
But
like a like if you had a gimmick that might be a bit more interesting. Like what's his name? Major Kill. Like he
Major
has
Kill,
the loud Australian gimmick going for him, which is
So
pretty fun.
Templin's
Yeah.
gimmick is that he talks himself up as some interstellar warlord or something. I don't know
Oh
what
my
it
God.
is. He's like overlord of the stars, and he's here to. I don't know what he's here to do, but that's like the character he plays in the videos, and
Okay.
it's I've never understood it. So yeah,
I didn't
that's
even notice that.
he does it in some of his videos. Some of them
Yeah.
he doesn't. Like a lot of his lore. Okay, see, here's the weird thing about his videos. So his
Yeah.
lore videos are usually voiced by someone else and not by him.
I I I I I did quite enjoy some of the ones that were done by someone else. There was one with a female voice actor, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been don't ask me what it was. It's been a long time since I
Yeah,
looked at
there was
most
a
of
bit
it.
of minor controversy because she like left
Mhm.
a couple of years ago.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, and
Ah,
she's been replaced by some British guy, and
ah.
no one knows what happened there. They kept it very private, hush hush. So
Sounds like a business issue.
yeah, it probably was a
Yeah.
business thing, but obviously the rumor mill starts, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, they had a
Yeah.
thing, and then they broke up." It's like, whoa.
Oh,
It's
oh
like
no.
probably
Oh
not
shit.
that exciting. It's probably just some mundane thing, honestly, and no one really knows for sure. So,
Yeah.
uh, Larissa. Oh, was that her name?
Oh,
Okay.
is that the name, Marissa?
Yeah, I don't really know her, to
Okay.
be honest. I just
Yeah,
heard her
I'm
was
not too
secondhand,
familiar.
really. So
To be honest, Stu and everyone, I completely forgot this person existed until this controversy kicked off recently.
this guy sexually is real. Ooh,
He
I've
sexually assaulted her, or he harassed her, because those are completely different.
yeah, 'cause I've not heard
One
any
of
of this.
those
That
is
sounds.
is creepy. The other one is a crime. So yeah,
All
we
right.
we,
Well,
we don't want to say anything too specific on that thing in case we get in legal trouble.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've not heard anything about
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
wouldn't want to
I
dive
don't want to
into it right
comment.
now, but that's
Yeah,
certainly interesting if that's
yeah.
something there. Right. I think we've covered enough about
Hmm.
him. Well, actually no. So
Oh,
he did a video, um, as he
oh
did.
yes, this one.
Yes, he did this one.
Yeah,
Let me bring it up.
yeah.
Uh, Female Space Marines and the Death of Canon, Warhammer 40,000. So this video came out, I think, this week, like a few days ago, like Thursday or something like
I
that.
believe it was like 4 days ago. I
Yeah,
believe the controversy started with a tweet, and then he said he would comment on it soon, and then this is the commenting on it, and
yeah,
then there's been another thing since then, but I'm kind of not really paying attention to it, to be honest.
yeah. It kind of picked up a bit, basically, and like people have started to respond to it and have thoughts, and it caught my eye enough on like Twitter and places like that. I thought I'd kind of throw my own 2 cents in,
Hmm.
see what this is all about. I have not seen this video yet. The only thing I've seen are a
Yeah,
couple of people's takes on it, and also the like to dislike ratio and the top few comments on the video.
yeah.
So this is going to be very fresh for me. I think Cross has seen a little bit of it.
I've seen Arch's video covering this before you'd asked me to guest on your stream.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think, without further ado, we'll jump in if everything's good.
Hmm.
Okie doke.
Ready to go?
Let's go. Let's start this. Is it working?
It's not playing my end. Do I
God.
need to reload?
Hold on.
Let me reload it.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Is it?
yeah, okay. Yeah, it's working now.
See, for me, it's not working. Let me forgive the visual glitch because I'll need to get the full screen out.
Hmm.
For some reason, it's not. Right. Okay, it looks a bit stupid from this end. Let me just. Was that working for you there?
Yeah, it's working now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back into full screen and see if that works now.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh no, it pauses again. Right. I don't think
Oh,
the
it's
full
not
screen's
syncing.
going to work because for some
Oh,
reason.
don't make it full screen. I've mine in like a window, and it worked when it wasn't full
Yeah,
screen.
the problem is it looks really bad on OBS when I don't have it in full screen. Like it looks all
Okay.
scrunched up, so I might have to.
Yeah.
Forgive us just a minute. I'm gonna tinker with this a little bit.
You might have to like put it in like a window, make it bigger.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What happens if I do this?
Like if you open a browser window in OBS and then join the watch together with it,
Let me see.
that might work.
No, that looks shit. Hold on.
And then put it full screen and the watch together.
Just drag it out
Uh,
fit it like yeah, I've done that and it still kind of looks crap when I do it like that. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
the audio is probably more
That actually
important
looks
than
okay.
the
I'll just
visual.
leave it like that. There we go.
You
That's
don't
not
want
too
him
bad.
to re at you for stealing his copyright. Inverted commas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. That kind of works.
Oh shit, we're hacking the Matrix.
Yes. The death of Canon.
The process of transforming a new recruit into a warrior of the Adeptus Astartes is among the most challenging and complex operations that the Imperium of Mankind is still capable of performing.
I
It
cut
remains a
myself on
dangerous
the
procedure.
edge. Oh god.
Hmm?
The edge was so sharp that I cut
yeah.
myself on it. Oh no.
Bro.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's alright. I'm just adjusting the volume because you sounded low compared to him, so.
Oh yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out to turn it down without accidentally.
It's alright, it's on
There
medium
we
now.
go. I got it. Yeah.
procedure, with many of its underlying principles barely understood, and even an otherwise healthy applicant might suffer from unpredictable mutations or other adverse effects on their physical, mental, or spiritual well-being. According to those familiar with the process, the first requirement of any Space Marine applicant is that they be biologically male. But this has understandably led to the question, why? Why are there no female Space Marines?
Oh my god.
The official line on the matter is that the process by which Space Marines are created relies inherently.
Ancient tome from the Horus heresy. Could he have done a better job of actually
Hang
saying what
on.
the source
That
was?
that is not how you provide a reference. You need to specify
Yeah,
which ancient tome.
That's fucking stupid. Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
Um,
You know what, Stu? The ancient book said that this is cringe. There you go.
yeah, because I'm pretty sure this is a source from like a rule book or something for 40k, and he just couldn't be fucked to actually say
Oh,
what
he
it
just
was.
used the reference they used. Okay, he should have just referenced which book it
Yeah,
was from.
that would have actually helped a lot.
That
But
would have been funny.
On the hormonal and biological makeup of the human male, meaning that only males can be subjected to the transformation. Ah, okay, so there it is. Case closed, right? There are no female Space Marines due to limitations inherent to the process of creating them. Well,
There we go.
not
Job
really.
done then, Stu.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
finished
we're
this
good.
video.
fuck's sake.
He solved the problem himself.
The most important thing to remember when analyzing the grim darkness of the 42nd millennium, something which sadly many people seem to forget or ignore, is that every bit of information we have, every slice of text,
Oh, fuck me. Oh, no, it's this shit. It's the stuff Aaron Dembski Bowden said that, oh, none of it's real, you can just make it up, fam. It's this.
Yep.
I'm going to see if he actually reads the quote. If not, we'll go through it because this is kind of interesting. So,
every image, every piece of footage, everything is coming from a source that can be either biased, misinformed, or outright lying. This universe can never be condensed into a neat and tidy encyclopedia where every bit of data is attributed to some peer-reviewed journal or first-hand account.
okay, let's go back a bit. 'Cause let's read through this. So, great mistakes made by almost every fan of 40k is to take the canonical rules of another license and crowbar them into 40k. That's a interesting thing to say. From another license. What does he mean by that?
You can't like put like Star Wars into 40k or Warhammer
Usually,
Fantasy into 40k or like Tolkien in here. Or...
usually it's an unconscious assumption based on a mix of common sense and Star Wars. What? Okay. Which is a combination you don't expect to see every day. It also works about as well as you think. So he's saying Star Wars doesn't have common sense in it. That's really fucking stupid of Aaron to say that. like this is going into like literacy, if I'm saying that right, Cross, because you've dabbled
Oh,
in
literary
storytelling.
things?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
don't you think stories have to make at least some sense for them to be believable?
Well, the story needs to have like a point, otherwise it's not really a story. Like, what's the point of you telling the story if you're not trying to get
And,
across the point?
Like, it has to be relatable on some level for, us humans to kind of get with the story, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise... So, yeah, I don't get what Aaron's trying to say here, like, oh, common sense and Star Wars don't mix. Context matters, that fucks royalry.
Well, normally it kind of makes sense to not steal like how it's a shitty term, but like the metachlorians from the Star Wars, that fucking bullshit, and like try and put it into 40k because well, first of all, it doesn't make sense anyway, and then to put it in 40k, there's already the warp, so now you've kind of a conflict already there. So just because I'm a fan of Star Wars, I want to put metachlorians in 40k. Doesn't work that way.
Well, yeah, like it's
Yeah.
difficult to mix concepts that are
Yeah.
more set within another franchise into
Yeah.
another franchise. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can sort of see what he's getting at. It's just weird the way he worded it between comics and Star Wars.
Oh,
Felon
he mentioned
Shadow
Star
says
Wars
it's
actually. Yeah,
regard
I didn't see
to
that.
Goto,
Yeah.
CS Goto. Yeah, that might
Mhm.
be what he's talking about. I've
Yeah.
heard a little bit of this quote from Aaron, but I've never really delved this deep into it. So
Mhm.
anyway, I got it wrong myself right until I was in a meeting with the company's intellectual property manager. Huh. Situation I find myself in several times a year as part of the Horus Heresy novel series team. When I was specifically asked about Canon, he replied with something that I tried to take to heart. It's all real and none of it's real. Yeah, that's the contentious part there. It's a bit of an epiphany, to tell you the truth. It also reminded me of that rather cool Qui-Gon Jinn line, your focus determines your reality. Aaron Dembowski, so what do you think of that second part of the line there, Cross?
You know what? I don't entirely disagree with what they're saying. However, I'm disagreeing with their interpretation of it.
Well, what the property
Yeah.
manager is trying to get at there is he's basically talking about how a lot of historical records written by humans are kind of biased, is sort of what he's
Yes.
getting at.
Like how many? I'm trying to think of a historical event. How many books have been written about the First Crusade? A
Oh,
lot.
Jesus.
A
Yeah,
lot.
there's been a few people.
How many of those books on the First Crusade have the same story?
Ooh.
Those books are going to differ wildly sometimes between
Yeah,
what
because
what
some of
what
them are
the
going to be
story is.
written by,
Yes.
Saracens, where some are going to be written by Frenchmen that were there, some will be written by the
Yeah.
Englishmen that were there, and so on. Loads of
I think it's even
civilians.
more nuanced than that. It's gonna have like the Prince of France is the hero in one book, but he's also the villain in another book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it kind of
it's
becomes
gonna
hard to know
yeah
what's true from fiction,
yeah.
bias and stuff, which.
It's just perspective. You know that picture of the the six on the floor, but then there's also the guy saying it's a nine on the floor.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing where two people look at the same thing and get two different things out of it.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
even George R. R. Martin has said this before. He said that because one of the
Yeah.
reasons he likes writing a POV as from characters' POV in his novels is so that
Yeah.
different perspectives on events. Because he said
Mhm.
this in an interview once. It'll be like you can't see if you're sitting there because he was saying it to a guy who was in the interview sitting across from him. He's like,
Yeah.
you might not see the guy coming up behind you with a dagger, but I might see it. That's kind of the
Yeah.
way he illustrated it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the issue I kind of have with this though is what they're basically trying to say is write kind of what you want because it could be true, it could not be true, which like if you're writing a book that's kind of from a POV of a person within 40k, that makes sense, like it's part of a novel.
Mhm.
But the issue is that Templin here is trying to conflate that as well. We don't have to care about canon and lore in the story, which is not really a
Because
good
the canon
comparison.
doesn't exist apparently,
Like
which is kind of bullshit.
it's kind of stupid because he's basically saying you can just disregard the backstory because we made up. Like it's such a weird comparison to make. So
Yeah. Yeah.
let's carry on with this. Maybe he'll actually elaborate on what he means with all this. So.
Every slice of text, every image, every piece of footage, everything is coming from a source that can be either biased, misinformed, or outright lying. This universe.
But like the problem is when you get to the history of the Imperium, the timeline of it when you read it in the rulebook, is that doesn't that isn't attributed to a writer. That's just what the Imperial records are of what happened. Now you can make an
Yeah.
argument that that's just propaganda or whatever, but often when you read those things, they talk about the Imperium's losses as well.
Yeah.
So I don't really buy that it's all just misinformation, propaganda and stuff. Like there is solid continuity within 40k, like that exists.
I just seen the chat. Skog says Matt Ward exists, therefore your canon is invalid.
Unreliable narrator, basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. That's a whole can of worms I don't think we'll have time to get into with like individual Black Library authors kind of just fucking up or not caring and so forth. So.
Well, Matt Ward is he might have been an author, but I think Skog was referring to it more in the perspective of he was one of the like what's the
Well,
equivalent of like
he wrote
producer with
rulebooks for
40k.
40k. Like he wrote
Uh,
codexes and
oh,
stuff.
what I mean is like he was in control of some of the creative behind decisions behind the scenes as well as being a writer.
Yeah.
And yeah, he also fucked things up behind the scenes.
Well, sure. Yeah.
As
Games
5 million
Workshop
years gone.
has shitty lore sometimes. You know what happens.
Yeah.
Can never be condensed into a neat and tidy encyclopedia where every bit of data is attributed to some peer-reviewed journal or first-hand account. The history of the Imperium and the galaxy it inhabits is instead a blend of legend, myth, contradictions, deception, and forgery. In the grim darkness of the far future, objective truth does not exist. Anyone who
That's a bold statement. What the fuck? Objective truth just doesn't exist in 40k. Well, so Space Marines wear power armor. Oh, that's just a myth. They wear power armor. Like, what the fuck?
Like, a lot of the Kane books, for example, are written from the perspective of you were a high-ranking member of the Inquisition, and you were reading the archive of the exploits of Caiaphas Kane, which is why it includes some of his less than stellar moments in there. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to have the what's the word? The clearance to to acquire the knowledge of him cowering on occasion.
To the Stars says he's using canon to explain canon. Yeah, that's kind of weird how he's framing it like this.
Yeah.
who tells you otherwise is probably looking to claim your soul. So if you read the aforementioned quote and decided to accept it at face value, good for you. The Imperium is always in need of easily persuaded, uncritical souls to work as lead.
Oh well, so it's fuck's sake, it's let's just carry on. What the fuck?
If you bear in mind a few times in this, he's going to make fun of us.
Oh yeah, no, he does this in his other videos, but I really hate YouTubers that just put a joke in there at your expense.
Yeah.
He
makes fun of his critics quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
That is one thing I do remember from seeing it previously.
Okay. Like a bit of banter is okay from time to time, but just like shitting on people viewing you can be a bit.
Oh no, Stu. This is the internet. You said my idea is wrong, therefore you were bad.
Bad. Okay.
It's Nietzschean propaganda, says Skog in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overdoing your argument is a good way to lose. Yeah.
Harvesters and mind thralls. But for me, the more interesting way to interpret this universe is to never fully trust anything you've been told.
Okay.
So when available sources claim that the process of creating Space Marines is only successful in men, and in almost every instance, artwork and footage depicts the Astartes universally as men, I am inclined to believe that
almost every instance of
the
Space Marines has depicted them as men.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
official
he's referring
artwork
to with female Space Marines there. Like official.
Yeah, what official artwork exists of female Space Marines? Unless he is getting them confused with what were they called? The Sisters of Silence or something?
Well,
the Sisters of Silence.
Or
them,
I'm
referring to, because they're wearing the big chunky armor, whereas the
maybe he's confusing the thumbnail I picked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in case you guys missed it, I picked the thumbnail, which I think is from like Rogue Trader era artwork, where a Marine is like kissing a Sisters of Battle, and I find that art hilarious on many levels.
Like even that Rogue Trader thing that a lot of people are referring to is an instance of a female Space Marine. Yeah, it's a female Space Marine. However, it's third party. It's not original. Like it's some American company that published that, not G-Dubs.
Yeah.
Like I can publish a fucking book about female Space Marines. It doesn't make them canon.
All right, let's see what he has to say now.
That female Space Marines don't seem to exist. But do I take this as unshakable evidence? No. Genetic engineering is one of the few areas of scientific advancement that survived the Age of Strife more or less intact. It is very likely the only field of
Hang
study.
on a second.
Yeah.
You know what just occurred to me? He's saying female space marines exist in some imagery. Why isn't he showed us the imagery?
I don't know. Yeah, that you
There you
think
go.
if he had the source of the women in Space
Just show me.
Marines, he'd
Show
show
me
us
it.
but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, come on. Yeah.
Skog says power armor does not a marine make. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can wear power armor as a normal human if it's made to your specifications, you know, a certain mark or
Yeah.
whatever. Alright.
In which the Imperium can even approach the marvels and miracles of the Golden Age of humanity. This is precisely why the Emperor used it as the basis of the Thunder Warriors, Custodes, and eventually the Space Marines.
Thunder
The
Warriors
idea
to
that
me
the
Stu,
Imperium's
just like sound like a bunch of guys who just really like baked beans.
Thunder was, bro. Jesus.
Sorry. Go on.
Beans. Alright.
technical divisions were able to create genetically modified warriors who can spit acid and acquire a subject's memories by
hell
eating
yeah.
its flesh.
That's my favorite marine ability, by the way, because it's complete bullshit. They don't explain how it works. It's just he
Oh,
eats
you
your
did that
brain.
You did that in Hans 40k.
Yeah, I
game
was
where you,
Alpha
that guy's
Legionnaire.
brain.
They just ate
Yeah.
guy's brain. It's like, I know all his things, yes.
Were somehow thwarted by comparatively minor differences in human hormones. Well, I don't buy it. Not
Wait, hold on.
completely.
Just
Modified warriors who visions were able to create genetically modified warriors who can spit acid and acquire a subject's memories by eating its flesh were somehow thwarted by comparatively minor differences in human hormones. Well, I don't buy it. Not completely.
okay, I guess you'll elaborate on this, right?
I am also aware that imperial organizations work tirelessly to suppress information, and that the decision of what information necessitates suppression often comes down to the archaic and nonsensical opinions of zealots and the insane. And furthermore, it is often very difficult to ascertain what is being deliberately suppressed and what the Imperium has just gotten.
So is he implying that it's propaganda that they're the Imperium of Man is that fucking bigoted and patriarchal misogynist
Mm-hmm.
that they don't let women become Marines even though women serve in basically almost every other branch of the Imperium?
I think what he's doing here, Stu, is exactly the thing he's criticizing them for doing,
We'll see, yeah.
which is kind of ironic. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong. The earliest encounters with the Necrons saw them labeled as Chaos Androids, while until recently, it was deemed as incontrovertible that the Squats had been rendered extinct by the Tyranids.
I mean, I think the idea with the Squats is they are not the Squats, so like some other race or some shit is the justification for that, but
I guess Squats is the new name now for the Deep Rock Galactic Gang.
the Squats, you know.
Because they didn't even like bring back the Squats, they just added in the
Ooh.
Deep Rock Galactic Gang and called them Squats.
I've got more chat. He's doing it again using lore to explain the inconsistency. Yeah, it's bizarre as fuck the way he's framed this whole thing.
Hello, Captain.
Captain says, in the original Rogue Trader rules, I believe someone could roughly approximate a Space Marine. That's the best argument I've seen for female Marines. Yeah. Back in the day, Marines were kind of portrayed more as just regular humans in power armor. That was kind of the shtick of them.
Mhm.
They weren't.
They
They
weren't,
hadn't
like, special
established
forces
this
guys.
genetic enhancements or any of that stuff, like transhumanist elements of it. So yeah. Like, if you wanted to play a game of Rogue Trader and use female Marine models, that would work for me. You know, I wouldn't really care too much about that. You know, because it's a different rule set and different kind of setting almost in a way. Let's see what he's doing here. I love this original Horus versus the Emperor. Fucking it's kind of.
Was that the Emperor? Oh god.
That's the Emperor on the
Gilliman or
right, and
something.
then
Yeah.
Horus on the left, like fucking looking like an 80s villain. It's pretty funny.
I thought it was Abaddon and Gilliman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Imperium's own history is often misunderstood. There were times when the prevailing narrative was that Horus was not the Emperor's favored Primarch, but rather an especially competent general, and his heresy lasted only 7 days and 7 nights. With all this in mind, my personal interpretation is that female Astartes almost certainly existed during the time of the
My personal interpretation. Well,
Mhm.
why does that matter? Like, that's your personal headcanon, bro. Like,
Yes, it is. This is also the first time he showed us the picture of the female space marines that
oh,
he's
well,
trying to argue
these.
for. Yeah, these are from the that third party like Road Trader book that was like part of some American publication.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know about this. So it was a Rogue Trader like source book that was just made by some third
something
party.
along those lines. Yeah,
That's pretty fun. I'm guessing this was what Arch was talking about in his.
yeah. Arch explains it
Like, he
far better
covered
than
it.
I am.
Yeah. I might watch
Yeah.
Arch's video later, see what that's all about.
Show me the quote book, boy.
Yeah.
Great Crusade. I think the Emperor, in this progressive era, had fully mastered the creation of the Astartes,
In this progressive
regardless
era.
of gender.
Progressive era.
Some famous figures from
shit.
this almost certainly existed during the time of the Great
there we go.
Crusade. I think the Emperor, in this progressive era, had fully mastered the creation of the Astartes, regardless of gender. Perhaps even some
Okay.
famous figures from this era were in fact female. At some point during the history
But
He-
they
he's-
weren't.
So the Emperor is
Emperor
not
covered it up.
some SJW fucking pink-haired feminist trying to get diversity in his among his children and hiring a bunch of women or I don't know, a bunch of like
Yeah.
Chinese sweatshop workers to create some more Astartes.
What the fuck is this? Like, what are we doing here? He's like, I think this happened really back in the day because, I've arbitrarily decided that none of the lore or canon matters anymore because Aaron Dembowski said so. It's like, oh, okay.
I think all of this is just bullshit, and he's trying to get attention
It's
for his channel.
copium. Yeah, it's like.
I don't even think it's copium. I think his channel is not doing great, and he wants attention.
You know, I was thinking that when we were talking like earlier today. I was like, he's just doing this to get views because he knows this will be controversial as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. No one watches your like boring lore videos anymore.
Oh shit.
Sorry, I'm throwing a bit of spice now.
We
This
should do
video's been
another-
pretty bad so far.
We should do another instance of this where we agree with him.
Oh god, we pretend to like him.
Yeah.
Skog,
Alright.
why have your poor viable candidates? We have an endless meat grinder, forever war to fight. Yeah, we'll see if he gets into that later, but I don't think he will. So, see. You know, the specifics of why male candidates would probably be more useful to them, but he probably won't get into that. I don't think the nuances of
Yeah.
that.
history of the Imperium,
I'm not gonna spoil
possibly
it.
because of complications with implanting gene seed, but more likely because of some ignorant proclamation by the ecclesiarchy or another imperial institution.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
the emperor was like super bit like progressive and woke or whatever, and then after he like got into a coma, the ecclesiarchy, those damn patriarchs of the ecclesiarchy came in and said no women allowed. Is that what
You know what? The ecclesiarchy are one of the few organizations in the Imperium that actually give women jobs. So
yeah, I
that's
know.
actually-
It's like they
that's
have a whole
actually an
militant that are
anti-progressive
women.
argument that
This
he
is
just presented.
stupid.
Yeah, there's an entire faction of the ecclesiarchy
They're funded by
That-
the church. Yeah.
that is all female.
Fuck's sake, this is dumb.
The Sisters of Battle are probably one of the chattest factions in
Yeah.
40k.
Oh god, this is so bad.
The idea of recruiting female space marines fell out of favor.
Okay.
Today, if any still remain within the chapters, they are a rarity. Furthermore, I am almost convinced that with the slightest bit of effort, the Space Marine chapters could again accept female recruits.
This is all just him. Like, there's
Yeah, this
nothing
is
to
all
back
his
this up.
opinion.
This is just my. I've decided that there's no canon, so I'm just making up my own shit, and this is what matters. Like, oh god, it's awful.
This
It's
is why
not
I
even
think-
an argument. It's just him wishy-washy.
Yes. This is why I think it's just him trying to get attention for his
Oh
channel.
god, right.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Well, I know what's going on now. At least that's good.
Mhm. Yep.
Skog says, no man may take up arms in the name of the church. Yeah, so they just found a loophole around that.
Yeah.
Sisters of Battle getting Space Marined wouldn't even be controversial. Yeah, like if somehow there was a genetic, process to turn them into Astartes, some of them would probably sign up for that. They can do
They
their killing even more
might, yeah.
effectively.
Like it's I kind of find it even more funny that they don't even need to go to the extent of getting like some sort of genetic
Just need good armor
mutation
and a good
treatment.
gun. Yeah, it's like
They're just a regular woman who is just really athletic and
yeah,
trained in military combat,
yeah, and she just
wearing
gets the money
some
to
sort
get
of
some nice armor and a gun. Yeah, it's like
armor and a gun, and is just really well trained.
yeah.
There's nothing special about them beyond they're really well trained and pretty fit and
Star says Emp said he would never have women space marines because they will breed and attack humanity, and this is canon. Yeah, I have heard something like that. I'm not sure what the source for it was, but I have heard mentions that he might have said, he said something like that in relation to why there were no women. So that's kind of
like
interesting.
I know you know this, but your audience might know this. I'm not a big fan of the Space Marines.
Yeah,
However, like
you
this
still
is why I
respect
think
their place in the lore.
I
Kind of, so
respect their place in the lore, and I think like something like the sisters is a lot more interesting because they're just regular people who just train a lot rather than getting like some sort of edgy surgery and
yeah.
are fucking superhuman.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
generally prefer the
yeah,
other factions other than the Space Marines, but you can still do cool stuff with the Space Marines. I think like
yeah,
there are some good books with them, and here and there,
yeah,
especially some of the Heresy novels are pretty good.
yeah. Shout out in the chat for all the guard players.
All the guard players who
Yeah.
now have to pay 30 quid for 10 guards. Yeah,
Well, you can have all female guard squads now.
I guess.
I meant to.
You can just go third party
Yeah.
like I do. It's like
Oh, I have a few third party ones, but
yeah.
yeah,
All right, let's carry on.
yeah.
By the way, I think this is the first, other than my RPG campaigns, I think this is the 1st
Mhm.
video I've done where we actually talk about lore, because we don't usually
Yeah.
talk about lore that often,
Yeah, we
because
don't
it's a
talk.
mess to talk about
Yeah.
sometimes.
It is dangerous because you can end up having a big re at you for your wrong take on stuff.
Yeah, no, people are quite passionate about the lore in this, so
Yeah.
which is
This
a
is
pretty
why-
good thing mostly. Yeah.
This is why, circling back to the topic, I think he's doing this is to get people to talk about his
Yeah, to
channel.
trigger everyone. Yeah,
Yep.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's
yeah.
not lewd the toy soldiers. You know what? They did tone down like the demonettes and the sisters a bit, which wasn't entirely to their benefit. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah. Because
understand they're trying
Demonettes
to.
used to be really kind of edgy
They
because they had
must be
their
more
tits out and
sexually
everything.
explicit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can understand them toning it down a bit to get more sales from the younger demographic. However,
but
don't like turn them into Terry Crews in a wig.
the thing is,
That
kids
is one of
don't
my
even
favorite
really
memes.
buy like fucking Warhammer that much. They buy like a
Yeah.
few Space Marines and paint them, and then most of them don't
Yeah.
even bother collecting more, or playing the game. Maybe later
Yeah.
on they do, but this whole appealing to younger people is kind of weird. I always thought for Warhammer.
They have the money to spend on stuff that they're not like spending on.
I
like,
guess the
bills.
idea is to get them interested in it, and then they pick it up later. Maybe it's like a long-term kind of strategy.
Yeah.
but
Skug says that the Slaneshi demonettes aren't going to fly with soccer
The
moms.
soccer
and that's
mom,
pretty
yeah.
true. They're gonna question that. That's why like original 40k is directed at like men in their 30s who like have a job and have money to burn.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the Imperium has become so entrenched in religious dogma and ignorance that it's become unable to question and possibly disprove what it considers to be the absolute truth. The Imperium senselessly wasting 50% of its own available manpower, if you'll pardon the term, because of some ancient misunderstanding, is the kind of tragedy this regime is built on.
What's he talking about there? 50% of its power.
He's talking about they didn't include women.
Oh,
He's saying manpower. Excuse the pun.
but
'cause he
but
didn't
they
mention
women are used for stuff in 40k.
Yeah, they work in like
They're
factories.
used for the
and,
military, the
yeah,
bureaucracy, the Inquisition, the Sisters of Battle, like
some of the best guard characters are female.
uh,
You know, obviously he's only reading, if he is even reading the books, he's only reading the Space Marine related ones.
yeah, this is fuck
Like,
me. Let's carry on.
he should read he should just read Caiaphas Cain. Like that series is probably
I
the
don't
best
think
place to start for new
he
people.
reads a lot of 40k
Yeah,
novels, honestly, this guy, but I could be
yeah.
wrong. So,
Like the majority of the main characters in Caiaphas Cain are female.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, this is just my personal.
Okay, so this is weird. That's
Mhm.
his like persona, that guy there on the right.
Yeah.
Some guy with a gas mask and a blue helmet and eyes and his insignia. I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah. Um, Arch pointed out that he's making a dig at him because on the screen there, you see he's looking at an archway, like a doorway,
Oh yeah, yeah, on the left. What the
and
hell
his
is
tweet
that?
is his rant with Arch.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's fucking
yeah,
stupid.
it's actually pretty cringe.
That is cringe. Like, call him
Yeah,
out publicly if you're gonna do that. Like, come on.
yeah. Don't be subtle about it. Fucking say it.
Just say, just do what
Yeah,
Total War did and call him a dickhead or whatever. Like, public. To be fair, that guy kind of did it in a bad way because he like
oh yeah,
that
he
was his
shouldn't have done
last
that.
day at work, and before the stream ended, he was like, "Oh, by the way, Arch was." It's like it's the
Yeah,
most cowardly way of doing it.
I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but yeah, it was not a
It wasn't a good look. Yeah, it's like,
no, it was really bad for the company as well.
oh yeah,
Surface fan, lots of
Surface fan, lots of it about. Yeah,
oh, lots of it. But yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to. Nah, I don't even know if I want to go into that. I was gonna kind of say like, you know what? Let's just leave that. That's
That could be a separate video, Stu.
maybe yeah. It's
Moving on.
complain about fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of layers to that, and I don't want to like just completely shit on people
Yeah.
too much. So.
Yeah.
Headcanon, or fan fiction
Oh,
if you
here,
prefer,
hold on.
and its regime is built on. Now, admittedly, this is just my personal headcanon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's your personal headcanon because you've said that multiple times.
Yep.
or fan fiction if you prefer. And it's based on even less evidence than the conclusion that
So-
there are no female space marines
pause a second?
whatsoever.
So the thing he's talking about, by the way, with Death of Canon, blah blah blah, is just his personal fan fiction by his own admission,
Yeah.
which is fine. He can have his personal fan fiction. That's no problem. There's no problem with that. It's not 40k anymore, though.
for sure. All right.
Yeah. Go on.
I'm sure you can poke holes in my opinion just as easily as I did in the official stance of the Imperium. I don't even
Just as easily. You didn't poke any holes in it.
Yeah.
You tried and failed.
Wait, he tried to poke holes in the official sense of the Imperium.
Yeah, this is what he's been talking about for the last five minutes and
Fuck's-
37
Oh.
seconds.
Whatever. I just don't get this guy. Well, I get him, but he's just fucking.
Yeah, Skog says, green stuff your own figures. No one will care. That is true.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy the
Printers
official
go burr,
models.
you know. Like,
Oh
fuck.
shit, GW's gonna come after us now.
Dude, they.
Yeah.
I don't
3D
think they
printers.
would like. If they
no,
saw
I-
the stuff that happens in my like fucking Black Crusade game, they wouldn't like me.
Oh,
I'm way
I'm
too old
joking.
school and
I'm
edgy for
saying-
them.
I'm saying, Stu, that we're endorsing 3D printing and third parties. That's gonna
Yeah.
upset them. But yeah.
I only buy stuff from them if I actually like the look of it, really, and the
Mm-hmm.
price isn't too bad. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
I'm the same. I'll only get something if it's something I really want, or if it's like something I can't get anywhere else. Otherwise, like Victoria, what are they called? Victoria Miniatures?
Yeah, they're one of them.
Yeah. That lady was very helpful and has a lot of nice stuff over there.
Yeah.
Give her a look. This is not an ad.
This is not enough.
This is not a paid promotion.
She used to do Games Workshop stuff. She was a Golden Deemer
Yep.
Golden Demon winner Victoria Lamb,
Oh,
and then
cool.
she just went at her
Yeah.
models. So good for her.
Yeah, this isn't a paid promotion, but she does good stuff. Give her stuff a look.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little. I will say it's a tiny bit on the pricey side for me personally, but they're quite nice, like
Yeah.
resins. So
For me, it's mostly the shipping from Australia, but like it's resin, high quality resin. Like this can't go wrong there.
Green stuff it. That would require skill and creativity. How dare you imply they have a bro? It is a pain in the ass to sculpt green stuff. I will say I've done it for cloaks and stuff, and it's tricky.
I use Millpot, which is similar, but yeah.
Dark Art Miniatures have good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good companies out there. Anvil Miniatures do some nice bits for guard and stuff. So
I've been meaning to look at Anvil Miniatures actually.
they're a wee bit pricey as well because they're just full resin, but they're good if you want, like, I'd say bits to glue onto existing guardsmen and stuff. They're quite nice for that.
Yeah.
But it depends. Doing a full army or regiment from them's quite expensive, so not as bad as G-dubs, but it's on the pricey side, definitely. Okay, let's carry on. Oh, we have got chat. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Skog just left some Twitter stuff in here. Okay.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think that my stance is the most realistic. It's just what I happen to think is most interesting.
Okay, at least he admitted that, I guess. That's one plus for him, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about this universe. It invites differences of interpretation. But
Good for
again,
you.
I can't put any more stock into this own interpretation of mine than I would into anyone else's. The universe just doesn't work that way.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I need to hear that again because he said something about weird.
Alright. But then I was gonna say something. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll wait until
Differences of interpretation. But again, I can't put any more stock into this own interpretation of mine than I would into anyone else's. The universe just doesn't work that way.
Okay, so he's saying his is not more valid than other people, but also he doesn't value other people's more than himself. I guess that's a fair statement. It's a bit... It feels like a bit of a dig, but I'm maybe reading too much into it. But
Yeah.
he's basically saying, you guys are wrong too, kind of. It's like, okay.
Like, I've been working on you know this too, I've been working on like a 40k inspired novella in the background.
Yeah.
While like running other games and doing like many IRL projects and stuff.
Sure.
I've been like piece by piece putting together this like novella that started as a 40k story, but then I realized, yeah, fuck that. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be my head canon and my stuff. But at least I'm not like posting about it on YouTube and forcing it down other people's throats.
Oh yeah,
like,
sure. Like you could have, you could have tried to put on Audible, eh?
Oh shit!
You
never know. I might. We'll see. We'll wait till I'm done before I decide about that.
If you make it all non-copyrighted, yeah, then definitely.
Well, if you make it
have even more stupid names than Games Workshop does, just to take the piss out of them.
Shit.
Like the Wheeler is like your wheeled Jeep or something. Get in the Wheeler. I don't know.
My God.
It's like stupid like that.
Oh, turns out, by the way, if your stuff is not intended to make any money, you make it open, they can't sue you.
Yeah.
Or they can at least try, but they won't succeed because it's in their own agreement.
Instead of a Land Raider, call it a Ground Raider. A Dirt Raider.
G-Dubs Raider.
Yeah, G-Dubs Raider. Oh no, he raided G-Dubs.
But never specify what G-Dubs means.
Yeah, just
It's the
GW
ground.
Raider inbound.
It's the ground vehicle, but it's like, not Volkswagen, where it's the
G-Dubs
VW.
is the
but it's
company
back-
that made it, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what else he's gonna say. Oh, we're halfway through. Nice. Okay.
Is it possible there never were any female space marines? Yes. Is it possible there are female space marines somewhere out there in the galaxy? Yes.
Okay.
Based on what? Evidence of, or what is it? Absence of evidence? Is not evidence of absence?
Well, it's what's said without
Yeah.
evidence can be refuted without evidence. That was a layman quote, I believe. I think he got that from somewhere else, probably. But
It's the thing I just said.
yeah,
Evidence of absence, or absence of evidence is not
that's
evidence of
probably the
absence.
fancy way of saying it. But
That's the thing that's drilled into you in academia.
yeah,
Is it possible there could be an entire chapter consisting only of female space marines? Absolutely.
Oh,
And is it
well, you can make your own, fam. I mean, I'm
you,
not
you
stopping.
could if you want.
Yeah,
However, like, it's your headcanon then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, like, if he wants to rock up to me IRL with his all-female Space Marine army, like, you want a game? I'm like, yeah, I'll play your Space Marine army.
Mhm.
A female Space Marine, I don't care. It'll be a
Yeah.
bit weird and cringe, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
possible
Hey, you know
that
what?
this
It'd be
all
better for them than them being all like pink and rainbows with like flags and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mechanic on duty, terrain traveler. Yeah, that's a good one. The TT.
all-female chapter is in fact the Ultramarines or the Black Templars or the Space Wolves? There's a lot of evidence to the contrary, and while I can be 99%
Whoa,
certain
hold on. What the fuck was he just saying there? Something about the Space Wolves are all female?
in the galaxy, yes. Is it possible there could be an entire chapter consisting only of female Space Marines? Absolutely. And is it possible that this all-female chapter is in fact the Ultramarines or the Black Templars or the Space Wolves? There's a lot of evidence to the contrary, and while I can be 99% certain that this isn't true and that Marnius Calgar is indeed a man, the very nature of this universe means it's impossible to say with absolute certainty. Even in our own era, there have been times when historical figures commonly believed to have been men were later discovered to have been women.
Do
Like
you know
which
any?
incident? That what would you call that lady? I forget her name. Who was wanted as a man. She used to get in like duels with people.
Oh, the French lady.
The French. I can't remember her name. The fencer, the one that Leos van der Woods is based off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I
can't
can't
remember her
think of
name.
any, to be honest. It's a bit of a weird.
Like there are a few incidences of it,
Yeah.
but it's not common.
Yeah.
It's rare because it's not
You
common.
don't usually become famous having a fake persona or identity generally, because
Yep.
that kind
don't
of defeats
become-
the point of having a fake. Because we have a fake identity, you basically don't want notoriety usually. So it's like,
Batman doesn't go around advertising the fact that he's Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne and all his close people to him
Yeah.
would probably get hurt,
yeah, pretty much.
which is the whole point of him not telling people who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
And vice versa. And doesn't this kind of revelation seem like it would fit just perfectly into the age of the Imperium?
I mean, if you want to write that story, fam, in your own head canon, go ahead. I just think it'd kind of be weird in 40k if that was like, oh, there was a space marine, but it turned out she was a lady. It's okay.
Oh shit!
Sure, a figure like Marnius Calgar is a bit of a stretch. If evidence came out that he was in fact a woman, I probably wouldn't believe that and fall back on my own interpretation, but I mention this only to illustrate the idea that history is not immune to drastic change in light of new evidence. And the history of the Imperium even more so. Maybe in our current era, being 99% certain about something is enough to arrive at a justifiable conclusion, but the 42nd millennium is a time in which we need to forget the promise of progress and understanding, and the power of science and technology. Within the Imperium,
Oh, so we all just have to be dumb now. Okay.
There is no science in 40k.
Bruh.
Yeah.
that 99% might as well be zero. And this extends to every aspect of the far future. Did Horus kill Sanguinius before his final confrontation with the Emperor?
Well,
I don't
he
know,
hasn't
did he?
showed
'Cause
up
I don't-
again, so other than
Yeah.
like in dreams or psychically through some of the Blood Angels, so
Oh,
I'd say
okay.
he's pretty dead, honestly.
Oh, okay. Like I haven't read the Horus Heresy stuff, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd even go so far as to say probably. But if someone told me that during the siege of Terra, Sanguinius fell to the Black Rage, killed Horus, and then tried to kill the Emperor, and this was suppressed by the High Lords of Terra to preserve the honor of one of
Well, first of all, you kind of contradicted yourself a bit there because you said, "Is he really dead?" and then you changed it to, "Oh, maybe he tried to kill the Emperor." Like that's a different question you're asking there, I
I
guess.
think he's talking about something different. Like
Hold on,
he's
let's hear that
pushing
again. That's kind
pushing
of weird,
something. Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Emperor? Maybe. Ideal to every aspect of the far future. Did Horus kill Sanguinius before his final confrontation with the Emperor? Maybe.
Oh, right, he's trying to say, did Horus kill him or did the Emperor kill him? I guess, but
He's saying did he fall to the Black Rage? Is that like the vampire shit that they have?
he was immune to it. I think
Well, that's
it
what
was
he's
only
saying.
his
Is did he
sons
fall
that
to
were
it?
afflicted by it, not
Ah, okay.
Sanguinius. I'm pretty sure. As a Blood Angels fan, this is heresy. Yeah, this is the whole point of Sanguinius's character was he's like the Jesus martyr figure in 40k.
Oh, okay. I
He
didn't know that.
sacrificed himself
Yeah.
for everyone's sins. Like that's the whole point of him because he was like one
Hmm.
of the best Primarchs in terms of humility and actually being empathetic to people and stuff and being a
Oh, he
virtue.
wasn't like a massive
He
cunt.
wasn't an asshole. Yeah, he's probably one of the
Yeah,
nicest Primarchs.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Black Rage is because Sanguinius died, so it'd be rather hard to fall to Black Rage. Yeah, that's kind of
Oh,
my
okay.
thing as well with it. I mean, heresy books kind of retcon this because in Fear to Tread, they say that some of the angels are starting to go psychotic and nuts.
Jesus.
But I don't know if that's a separate condition or the same condition that's like full in their gene seed or something. So, but yeah, my impression was always that yeah, it was kind of a thing after Sanguinius died because they're remembering the anguish of what their Primarch went through as he died. That's kind of the idea behind it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, this is kind of a stupid thing he's saying here and just fucking over Blood Angels fans even more by suggesting this. Like
Maybe. I'd even go
it just shits on the whole canon. Well, he doesn't care about canon, but you know the whole kind of the tone of Sanguinius as a character. If he like went nuts and tried to kill the Emperor, would be really stupid if they went with that.
so far as to say probably. But if someone told me that during the siege of Terra, Sanguinius fell to the Black Rage, killed Horus, and then tried to kill the Emperor, and this was suppressed by the High Lords of Terra to preserve the honor of one of mankind's greatest heroes, there is nothing I can do to definitively prove that person wrong.
Why didn't they preserve Horus's memory of the Moon Wolves or whatever they were called?
The Lunar Wolves.
The Lunar Wolves, yeah. They could have preserved that, and then there would have been no like
Yeah, they
fallout
could have
from the
just said
heresy.
that the heresy didn't even happen at all.
There you go. There was no heresy.
But yeah, they could have said that. I mean, they kind of don't like to talk to the regular populace about it, but
Hmm.
40k also does like in a lot of the books and lore they do mention that there was a great schism. They say it to
Hmm.
military people. They don't really go into detail because people in 40k by this time don't really
It's
most
a
people
need to
don't.
know basis.
Yeah, they don't go into the deep history and lore of it too much, but they do say
Yeah.
that there was a great betrayal, 10,000 years ago, and some
Hmm.
people did some bad things. They're they're very kind of subtle about it and don't go into
Yeah.
detail to keep people not freaked out too much. But they say, yeah, there was some bad shit back in the day. So yeah, I mean, if this is what he's going with, yeah, why didn't the Imperium just forget all that happened and just cover it up? But the
Yeah,
problem is
why
they
didn't they
can't
just like
cover it up because the Emperor's in a coma on the on the cold throne. So something
still in
obviously
a coma?
happened to
Yeah.
him. In fact, 40k lore and the setting very in the present day of 40k very heavily reveres the Emperor for his like sacrifice and stuff.
Hmm.
Everyone worships him for being a Chad, and like even though he's in pain and in this horrible coma,
Yeah.
he's still there, guiding everyone and keeping the light in the warp so that spaceships can navigate and all that cool stuff.
Like if the Emperor dies, that's the end of 40k. But if the Emperor comes like is fine and wakes up from his coma, that also ends 40k. So
Yeah,
him
because it
being in a
changes the
coma is
tone.
kind of important.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the biggest things in 40k as an event. So yeah, that's kind of weird. Him suggesting that it was like covered up. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Likewise, nobody can disprove the idea that Space Marine chapters out there might have unlocked or retained the technologies allowing for the successful transformation of
Here we
female
go.
recruits, or that female Space Marines might remain common across the chapters, and this has been suppressed by the Inquisition.
I mean, have you seen one, buddy? Like, in any of the artwork, the lore, the rule books?
In this 8-minute and 3-second video, has he shown us more than one picture that was artwork he commissioned himself? Did you see that?
Oh
There
yeah,
was
the one
art
they used
that
for the thumbnail. Yeah,
the one that's the thumbnail. Yeah,
that might well have been commissioned. Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
because that's almost certainly not.
that's
me.
the only one I've seen, and it's the thumbnail for this video. And outside of that, I've never seen a picture of a female Space Marine.
That's-
Outside of, people pulling the piss.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's been some models people make that's basically a parody, not really
Or
super serious.
Female cosplayers as
Space Marines.
Space
yeah.
Marines.
Templin has no idea how the warp works. Yeah, I don't know what this man knows about 40k, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to
Inquisition for
shall
whatever
if I
reason.
don't know it.
There are an endless number of explanations as to why female Space Marines might exist.
Oh, artwork by Pantmonger.
You know what?
Okay.
This isn't a Space Marine. This is a Chaos Sororitas.
Maybe, yeah.
Or at least that's what my
Here's
interpretation
the thing,
of that is.
right? Here's another thing. If you want in-universe
Yeah.
female Space Marines that make some sense,
Yeah.
have effeminated Chaos Space Marines. That's what you do. Get a bunch of Slaneshi Chaos Marines, maybe Emperor's Children, maybe not, and say they went really far down the effeminate route, and the warp twist in their flesh to resemble that, and there you go.
A
You've
bunch
got-
of former Sisters of Battle who felt the Slanesh
Or that,
became
yeah,
Chaos
they've just
Space
bulked
Marines.
up
That would
because
be
of warp
interesting,
power.
actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that would be interesting. What's his name? Fabulous Bill.
Fabulous Bill, yes.
Yeah, Fabulous Bill.
He made
Fabulous
some-
Bile or whatever his name
He
is.
was commissioned to make some
Yeah.
female Space Marines.
Like, if he makes a bunch of ex Sororitas into like a Chaos Space Marine, that might be interesting.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun,
Yeah.
yeah. But whatever.
How
nah,
come we've come up with more interesting storylines than this guy
and
has
this
come up with?
fuck yeah. Jeez. Alright. We're nearly the end,
Alright.
actually, damn.
exist, and none of them conflict with the essential nature of the universe.
Hold on.
Because the essential and none of them conflict with the essential. There are an endless number of explanations
Is
as
that
to why
Chaos Space
females.
Marine armor?
I think so, yeah. It's
Okay, because I
I
took
don't
that as it
recognize the
was
chapter
Sororitas.
symbol. It's kind of probably a fan-made one, but
Yeah.
or a Legion symbol, I should say, if it's Chaos, or maybe it's a Renegade
Okay, yeah.
Space Marine. I don't fucking know.
Mechanicus on duty is saying the same thing I said, that it's a Sister of Battle that looks like they fell to Chaos rather than a Chaos Space Marine.
It's quite possible. The only thing
Yeah.
that kind of sticks out is the backpack is like
It's a bit
Space
bigger, yeah.
Marine backpack, but to be
Yeah.
fair, they could have maybe just cobbled and salvaged some power
Yeah.
armor from a dead Space Marine to put on. But
Maybe they were like making models, and so they got the Sisters of Battle, and then they put some Chaos Space Marine like bits on there, and then there you go.
oh
Or it's
shit!
the
my
artist
camera
trying to fill the blanks.
on duty says I think there is a sister of Battlefell. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sabine, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah, she fell to Slanesh. She's actually really interesting. She's an
Fabulous.
absolute thought. But
Fabius
interesting,
Val
nonetheless.
did female and male superhumans, but not at the level of
Oh, did
Space
he?
Marines. Yeah, I could. I'm,
I didn't know
I'm
that.
pretty sure he did. Actually, you're probably right there. Like that would
Yeah.
fit.
Space Marines might exist, and none of
Because I think the idea with Space Marines is the tech is kind of a closely guarded secret of the GNC and how they actually make it, and it's kind of hard for people outside of chapters and stuff to replicate the tech. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
Space Marines are kind of rare. Chaos Space Marines, I've mentioned this before, are kind of rare to actually be grown. Usually it's easier just to corrupt.
Oh,
loyal
because they can't
Space
really
Marines.
recruit because they don't have the facilities to make.
Yeah,
because
because it's very difficult
Yeah.
for them because the gene seed's polluted, so the success rate on it's quite low. And
yeah,
Fabius Bill has been trying, kind of in the lore, to recreate it from scratch,
Yeah.
and it's been quite difficult for him most of the time.
yeah.
conflict.
But then fucking Cole just just makes that just. I don't know. Cole's a weird character. He's fucking just.
I don't know who Cole is.
He's just there to justify the new models and equipment. Basically, they're just like, oh well, where did it all come from? Fabulous. Fucking. Cole made it all. Okay. Chaos succeeded with the Demoncula, but yeah, the Iron Warriors did that. That was another thing they succeeded with.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to pronounce that word. You got it in one.
Mechanic on duty. It's not so much the tech; it's the pseudo magic involved that makes it hard. Yeah, there is mentions that there is more to it than just pure science. So that might be part. That might well, be part of it as well. I should probably read more into that a bit and see if I can glean more from it. Cole is a blight. Yeah, Cole is a super contentious character for EK. The problem is he was basically just pulled out of their ass as a in-universe way to justify all the new models and bullshit and tanks and stuff.
Oh, are they the Primaris boys you're talking about?
No, he's part of 8th edition with the Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we need... Oh, the nerds need some lore to explain why all this stuff appeared. I know. We'll make a Mechanicum guy that was so big-brained he did a better job than the Emperor and invented new shit. It's like, damn. Okay.
Oh, Fabulous Bill is Cole. Okay.
Fabulous Bill is cool.
Yeah.
He's not... Oh. What are you saying?
No,
I'm not even going to touch that. That's an interesting theory, though, you've got there.
Yeah. See, I don't know, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, because I was going to say they are two separate characters, unless you're saying that Cole, like, took Fabulous Bill's brain or something, because that's a thing Cole can do, which is kind of stupid. He can take people's minds, which is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
really
only familiar with guard-related stuff. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's try and get through this more.
I'm saying that for the benefit of your audience.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Nature of the universe, because the essential nature is fluid, always.
Oh, fuck me! Right, hold on a minute.
This is some old Eldar stuff, is it?
Well, I think it's old Marine, but we'll get into it.
He's a Bill clone. Okay.
Bio clone. That would be very interesting. Okay. Interesting. He's a clone of a soul pulled from the war that ate at the mind of his predecessor, who tried to install themselves in him. I wish I was joking. Yeah, no, I read Cole's book, and it's a fucking weird read. Because he can, put himself into people's bodies and, consume minds, and then they become part of his... Was it Gestalt consciousness, when you have multiple brains within your consciousness or whatever, or souls or mind? It's that concept in fantasy, I think. You might have heard of that. A Gestalt entity. It's really fucking stupid. I don't even think we should get into it really right now. It's
moving swiftly on.
Now, Space Marines might exist, and none of them conflict with the essential nature of the universe.
Wait, what? Fuck's sake, keep saying stuff and it's dumb.
Acquisition for whatever reason. There are an endless number of explanations as to why female Space Marines might exist, and none of them conflict with the essential nature of the universe.
Okay, tell me them then, buddy. We're here.
This is the first piece of art he showed us that probably wasn't commissioned by him that shows what could possibly be a female Space Marine.
Yeah, what the fuck is he saying, though? This is oh, there's so many explanations why female Marines could work. Tell me them, buddy. We're here.
Because the essential nature is fluid, always changing as new information is discovered and old...
You mean more writers write more shit into the lore is what he's saying here.
Those are Eldars, yeah?
Yeah, I think those... I'm pretty sure those are Eldars.
Why is he showing us Eldars?
He's just showing you random shit to be like, this is 40k and the lore changes a lot, it's like...
Yeah.
Just something for us to look at, Now that's the worst Deus Ex Machina I've heard to sell new minis. It does Games Workshop needs to retcon and bomb their entire universe. At this point, it's pretty bad because the whole tone of 40k is completely shifted. So I wouldn't be that opposed to a reboot at this point if you want to maintain it. So, like, if you want to actually retain some semblance of tone. So,
Yeah.
right, let's go.
Old information repressed. The only constant is tone and atmosphere.
No,
no.
the tone and atmosphere has changed drastically since the start of 8th edition. What are you fucking talking about, bro? Like,
Or is he gonna shove that nightstick? Look out, dude.
what the fuck is that?
Why is the Space Marine fucking patting down people? They can't feel anything.
This
through
is
the
like
ceramic
old
gloves.
art from Road Trader when they were like space
Yeah.
cops as well, but it just
Oh,
looks
okay.
funny as fuck.
Yeah. Also, the guy is the same height as the Space Marine. In fact, he's taller.
Oh god, yeah, I noticed that as well. They're kind of the same.
Yeah.
42k is not 40k. Yeah, like
for the
most
second
people.
millennium.
So, in my RPG games, I've deliberately not mentioned that it's like I've deliberately not said it after the full Acadia. I've kept it before the full Acadia.
I've done
Like,
the opposite.
in my
I've
canon,
deliberately-
in my continuity in my game, the 13th Crusade is like about to kick off or ongoing, more or less. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I don't
in
like
mine-
I don't like any of the lore that's written after that point. It's all fucking
Yeah.
terrible, mostly.
Mine is set after it, but it's anything I know about and anything I don't know about. Probably not canon unless you can convince me
Sorry,
to
what was that?
include it. I set my canon after the
Okay.
42nd, like late in the 42nd millennium, so it's like well
beyond
beyond
it.
what
Okay.
books have been written right now.
Okay.
So if I don't like what you present to me, then I'm not gonna acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
I do the thing where I basically set it in sort of around
mhm.
between like 3rd edition and 7th edition 40k, kind of around that ballpark.
Mhm.
Where it's more old school,
Yeah.
kind of 40k is sort of how I said it.
Yeah, I was doing it with the explicit intention of creating an entirely new thing, and that's why I'm trying to slowly move it away from the official 40k brand and into its own like sci-fi thing,
Mm-hmm.
because kind of don't want to work with G-dubs on anything. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, let's see if he's gonna ram this nightstick up his butt.
Look, he's fucking taller than him as well. It's weird.
Present thyself. What the fuck is this?
All right, go on.
Oh yeah.
Fear. The details are ultimately secondary to that.
Oh no,
And
no.
if you disagree with it, always changing as new
Okay.
information is discovered and old information repressed. The only constant is tone and atmosphere. The details are ultimately secondary to that.
The details also change as well as the tone and atmosphere, so you're doubly wrong on that. I don't know what you've been smoking there, bud, if you think fucking it's been consistent. Yeah, I'm
don't
starting
think-
to think this guy
I don't-
doesn't get the setting at all.
I don't think the tone is consistent.
No, it's absolutely not.
Because I think the tone is completely based off the author's interpretation of what
Yeah,
40K
and just
is.
what's been going on at the time, really. So.
Yeah, because I much prefer the tone of the Caiaphas Cain books, where it's just like it's serious in a way, but it's also just a comedy.
Yeah, it's just poking fun
Yeah.
at the absurdity of the situation, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with me, if your interpretation of the grim darkness of the far future is different from mine, well,
do you
this
know,
will be one
Stu?
of the few times I admit this, but your interpretation is every bit as valid as mine.
Yay! He actually said something fucking nice. Jesus
He
Christ.
acknowledged you, Stu.
Yay!
He's a big fan of your 40K. Yeah.
Fucking weird logo man with his speech box.
Oh.
I don't know. Is he like an AI? Is that what this is? Is that his character?
I have no idea. I don't care.
If you can look honestly at the 42nd millennium and come to the conclusion that female space marines just don't belong there, Not out of any place of misogyny, but a genuine belief that it just doesn't make sense given what we know.
Oh, you better not be a misogynist there, boy.
He's just undermined his entire argument as well, if there
how,
even was one.
how so? Like,
Because he just said that if you believe that, and it's not from a place of misogyny, that this thing is bullshit, then therefore you are correct. That's like, good job.
so yeah, I see what you mean now. The whole thing's been kind of pointless, like what he's just
Yeah.
said.
Because we've not been saying female space marines make no sense because, ew, girls. We don't want girls in our
No.
boys club. We're saying it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't fit
Because-
within the old backstory and just the tone of what Space Marines are really on whole.
Yeah.
Like, of who
And
they
there
are.
already is like two really, really good all female, like female only factions. The
Yeah.
Sororitas and the Sisters of Silence. So
Yeah. All
there you
right.
go. Oh shit! You know what? The Eldar are also all women.
Yeah, there's a lot of women in the
Yeah,
Eldar too.
Because they're so effeminate. They're all women. There you
There's
go.
fucking like
It's my
dumb
hot
women
take.
in the Dark Eldar, you know.
I was being funny.
Yeah. All right, let's carry on.
I respect your position.
Yay! Okay, you take the wins
Oh,
where we can get
My
them.
position has been respected, but how long is that gonna last?
Yeah, he might fuck this
Yeah.
up at the end. Yeah.
And if tomorrow some higher authority decreed that there are in fact female space marines, 100% full stop, I would, without reservation, defend your right to ignore that decree.
No,
but
you
to
wouldn't.
continue to
Yeah, I'm not sure you would there, buddy. I appreciate the thought, but I don't think you really would. Yeah.
He would just rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
interpret this universe in whatever way makes it the most interesting to you. But I would ask that you extend this same mindset to me and everyone else.
Oh, so we have to. Okay, I guess we have to respect
Yeah.
his fucking.
Well, we gave him a fair shake. We heard him out, and his
Yeah,
argument
like
made no
I've been
sense.
very. I was gonna say this at the start, but I forgot. Like I was gonna try and be charitable to this guy as much as I could because I know a lot of people have been railing on him, but he has said a lot of dumb things in this video, so I have had to call him out, unfortunately. So you know.
Sorry, Mechanicus on duty just followed on from my joke about the Eldar.
There are supposedly men
There are
among
supposed to
this.
be men among the Eldar, but they still wear breastplates.
Oh. Fuck's sake. Sorry, miss
That's pretty
mine.
good.
Oof. You missed some
Yeah.
spice there. Hey, Will's
Hello,
here.
Will.
Hello, you.
Hello.
You've arrived. You're on the internet. We're on the last like few minutes of it, but to be fair, there's probably enough for you to catch up on. So,
I don't know.
all right, let's carry on. I guess.
Whether I say that female space marines exist, or Sanguinius killed Horus, or that the entire universe of the 42nd millennium is actually within a bottle kept by a wizard in Reichland.
I mean,
You
I
know
guess
what? If
that's-
that was the case, I would be so happy because I've been getting really into the Warhammer fantasy universe.
I mean that's the Discworld Noir thing, you know, the turtle
Yeah.
is the world turtle and all that shit, you know. Or that stupid SCP where it's not stupid, I guess I'm being a bit mean, but like all of reality exists in a box. It's like okay. And this
How do you
causes
know it's
people
not
to have
the case?
existential dread somehow. They're like, oh no, we're all ever gonna box, guys. I'm like,
That's a Rick and Morty thing as well.
oh, well,
Yeah.
all reality's just in some.
All
other
reality
box.
was in like the engine of the fucking car or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched Rick and Morty because
Yeah.
I'm not big brained enough to understand Rick and
Oh,
Morty.
shit.
I love that joke, by the way, of
That
like
kid show.
you know, you need to have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
You should watch at least a few episodes of the first season and see how long it takes you to get a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't
Not
seem like
bad.
my kind of thing. 'Cause it's just random.
No, it would really
LOL.
annoy Stu.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
all right.
All right, let's get on with it.
What I truly love about the grim darkness of the 42nd millennium is that its very nature precludes the possibility of someone, anyone, coming in and telling you what is right, what is wrong, and that there's only one way to experience it.
Ooh.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure people like this man has been telling me how to experience 40k, and I'm just like, no, I will experience the 40k way I wish to experience
Yeah,
it.
well, I hate to say it to him because I appreciate that
trenches
it's
with
kind
the
of him
boys.
trying to be good natured, but there are definitely 40k fans that'll tell you you're wrong for liking a certain thing, or
Mm-hmm.
you have to like a certain way for this value or whatever. So, unfortunately, yeah, that's not really the nature of 40k. People argue about 40k as much as they argue about Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, you know.
And you know what?
Nobody argues like people argue about Star Wars.
G-Dubs probably loves the fact that people argue about it because it gets them more sales.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you in on a little secret.
Oh,
During one of our investigations into the Imperium of Man,
our investigate. This is his whole
Our
meta
Imperium of Man.
narrative bullshit. Of like,
he's implying he has friends. Okay, let's go on.
well, he has someone that
Alright, big
edits. His,
meat.
here's the thing: he
That's
has
a
at
bit harsh,
least
Cross.
he has a guy that edits his a person
Yeah.
that edits his videos, and then he has the English guy that does his voiceover at least. So he has some people, I guess.
I'm trying to make a joke.
Unless he edits it and he just has the voiceover
Yeah.
person. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I included a detail that has since become the single most referenced bit of lore on this channel. We receive comments about how cool it is almost daily. The latest one, at time of recording,
Oh, this
was
is good actually. Pay attention to this, Stu. You're gonna like this.
Oh yeah.
I remember what this is now.
about 80
What?
minutes ago. But that little bit of lore, according to the latest information available, either no longer exists or never did. But I thought it was cool and I included it anyways.
Okay.
Whether or not it's true really isn't important. It's true to me, and that's enough. And given how popular
Okay.
it's become on this channel,
Yeah, well, you missed all the bullshit where he was like, well, not bully. He basically said, "Oh, it doesn't matter."
It's
'cause
true
it's
to
not
me,
like-"
goddammit.
So, Stu, did you just catch what he just said?
Something like, "It's not true, but I think it's true."
No. So what he just said was the most popular video in regard to 40k on his channel included a thing about 40k lore that he made up.
Interesting.
What, this video?
No, not this one.
A
A
different video.
thing that was a different video that was the most popular video about 40k on his channel.
I've not
Included
seen
a
this
thing
video,
that he
so-
made up, and it was a thing that he's seen quoted back to him about 40k that he made up.
Bro.
Interesting.
Alright. I've not seen this video, so I'm not sure what he's about to do, so...
No, a thing that he said previously in a different video is what he's referring to.
Okay. And
You might wanna
he
go
said
back a bit.
it's popular, so...
Yeah, you might want to re-listen to that.
Okay, yes, yeah. 'cause
I'd
this
like to
is-
see
yeah.
this video, to be fair.
Hang on, hear him out.
time of recording was left about 80 minutes ago. But that little bit of lore, according to the latest information available, either no longer exists or never did. But I thought it was cool and I included it anyways. Whether or not it's true really isn't important. It's true to me, and that's enough. And given how popular it's become on this channel, I kind of think people agree with me, even if they don't know it.
Oh, so he's trying to say the thing I did previously was very popular and people resonated with it, so what I've been saying here might also be popular and be resonant or something.
He admitted to presenting something as fact that wasn't the case.
Okay, that's fucking weird, but yeah.
That's clickbait.
Well, we'll see.
And while I certainly understand and even appreciate having an ironclad history, a firm and uncompromising canon or continuity, if you will, there are
He's
also
sucking himself
times
off
when it's
here.
Oh yeah, he's gonna suck.
Oh god,
Oh, nice.
it's
Even
getting
appreciate
wet
it.
in here.
having an ironclad history, a firm and uncompromising
Okay.
canon or continuity, if you will, there are also times when it's refreshing to just not deal with that. Wouldn't it have been
Refreshing.
nice to have the option to say,
Oh no, not fucking Palpatine.
Can I point out he said he has a firm canon when he said canon's dead?
So he doesn't have a firm canon, then, does he? Contradicted himself a little bit there.
He contradicted himself a lot.
that Rey is not Palpatine's granddaughter, or that the war against the Night
Yes,
King
he is.
Well, we'll get into that at the end, Will, I think, because there's
Oh,
a great...
spoilers! I've not seen that movie yet.
Yeah.
That's not really
Joking,
a
I'm
spoiler. It's been out for like
joking,
5
I'm joking,
years now.
I've seen it.
was way cooler than whatever this is, and to have those interpretations be totally valid. Now I am no fool, and I have
I mean...
Debatable.
That's out. The jury's out on that, I'm afraid.
No
That's
comment.
that's a debatable thing.
No doubt that I will have failed to convince most or even any of you, but
Well, you failed to convince 2/3 of the people that reacted to your video. I'll say that. Like 2/3 of them disliked it.
I don't
You
know
know-
enough information to judge.
The overall point of certain things can be interpreted differently. I agreed with that part.
Yeah.
However, his interpretation of what he said around that made no sense. At
Yeah.
all.
Like, we've not disputed that he's allowed to fucking have
No,
his own
he can-
weird headcanon, but we can still
can have-
critique his weird headcanon if we want. You know, that's...
You can have his female space marines in his headcanon, no problem, but he can't just say that 40k has female space marines in it, because where?
Yeah, there's no source that they've ever had them, so... What are you talking about, you know?
let's make a deal. If you decide to argue with me in the comments, include the following phrase somewhere in your argument. You will die as your weakling father died. You'll get the satisfaction of tearing me down with a
Alright, pause. Okay, you ready?
Oh,
Yeah,
3, 2, 1. You will die as your weakling father died. There you go.
okay. Why did he want us to say that?
I thought you were going to say it with me.
No,
didn't know I had to
I
say
don't
it,
know
my
why
bad.
the fuck he's trying to make us say this. So
It's so that he knows that you actually watch the video when you're
Oh.
commenting on the thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
you've just said
yeah.
it, so there you go.
there you go. Mission succeeded.
All right,
Yeah.
so he. Oh, I see what he's done. So he's like, oh, I'm worried people will see it and then comment without having watched it.
It's more than that, Stu. So what he's done is he's suggested a comment that you could leave in the comment section, which means that YouTube will share the video, thinking that it is a popular video with people commenting in the chat.
Oh,
That the thing that he said.
oh, so it's an algorithm thing as well.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
day?
it's a thing inside a thing inside a thing. That's just an obvious thing to get people to go to his channel.
It was for
That's
comment
exactly what's going
fishing,
on.
says Mac
Yep.
on duty. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
comment fishing. That's exactly what I mean. Thanks,
Comment
mechanics.
fishing. Okay.
badass line, and I
It's a badass.
No, it's not.
I
It's
don't
not a
even know what's
badass
from.
line.
Is it from Star Wars? Is it?
No, it's some bullshit he just made up, and might be something he just made up, but it doesn't matter. It's
blip.
like what he's saying right now is he's saying that you will get to feel like a Chad for saying that. No,
Okay.
I don't feel like a Chad for saying that. I feel dirty for saying that. However,
Need to
and
claim compensation for it.
Compensation from his ad revenue. Fuck.
they'll send him money for ask him for money for the ad revenue.
Yep, pretty much.
I need mental health, compensation for
Yeah,
saying
Yeah.
this.
I need
Pretty
money,
much.
I need money for therapy after
Yeah.
your cringy video. It hurt me.
everyone else, at the very least, will know that you watched this entire video, were open to what I had to say, and that your argument is being made in good faith. Just keep the rest of it civil. My feelings can only be hurt so much.
I like
You were
Canon.
like an AI man and didn't have feelings, but
Oh, he's being cringe. Roquette to the stars is saying that Sigismund said that when he died. I don't know who it is,
Oh.
but I assume you know.
oh, okay. So he said that to Abaddon when Abaddon killed him. I guess.
Ah, okay.
That's actually
uh,
kind of a
isn't-
cool reference.
Isn't Abaddon meant to be the devil's son?
Mechanics is on duty says it's a comment made to the Dark Angels by Chaos
Or
Marines.
Blood
Okay.
Angels. Oh wow.
Yeah,
so
sorry,
we've
yeah,
got
Blood Angels.
maybe the quote was used twice.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
It could be the same instance. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not entirely familiar with the thing.
All right. I guess that's him also. So there's another layer to this. He's like, guys, I'm a real fan. I read that book where the man said that. It's like, okay.
Cool.
But if you think the idea of female space marines just being a possibility, according to one
I
interpretation,
don't see
is some
what the
kind
issue is with it. Personally.
We'll get into that as the post-vid discussion, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
of betrayal.
Okay.
If this discussion has caused you to decide that the woke moralists over at the Temple Institute
I don't care about the
I
woke
wondered when
moralists.
this would come up, because I wasn't even going to bring it up, but then he fucking had to bring it up. It's
He
like,
done it himself, yeah.
yeah.
I actually don't care. I really don't care.
Yeah,
You can
I've
have
been
me say
trying to
Canon all you
keep
want.
that part of it aside because it's not helpful to bring that into the argument in most cases. Like, you know.
Finally gone too far. If even now you are furiously hitting the unsubscribe button,
No.
well, the
What?
tree of any YouTube channel must from time to time be nourished by the blood of misogynists.
What?
What the fuck?
I like how he said it was okay to not want women space marines, and it's not as long as it's not misogynistic. But then immediately said anyone who disagrees with them is a misogynist.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
of a weird backhanded way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. What a
You cannot
fucking-
like my opinion, but you're a twat for not liking it.
He's doing the whole, you know, you will not be missed thing that Games Workshop said that was cringe, you know, if you're...
Games Workshop say a lot of cringe things. To be
Yeah.
I have no problem with openly declaring that I do like strong female characters. However,
yeah,
they
nothing wrong
must
with
be
that.
done correctly and not
Not like
Not
She-Hulk.
cringe, yeah.
not cringe. Yes, they need to be done properly.
Yeah. Like,
There
actually
there
put
is
some
an
effort
art
into
to
them.
doing it. It's
Well,
not fucking lazy writing.
Like Ridley Scott and Aliens.
Yeah, like, that was
Ridley
actually a
Scott
good
isn't
one.
in it. Oh, you mean by Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah, he
meant
means, like,
Scott in
Ripley.
it.
No,
Sorry,
no,
you mean
like,
Ridley in
Riff-
it.
yeah.
You confused me there for a moment. I got distracted. I
Sorry.
was reading
My
the
bad.
Discord.
It's just so
Yeah.
cringe when he starts saying this as well. Like, "Well, the fucking, you know, the wokeness. Whoa."
He's trying to make out that the internet people who give out about the wokeness are just cringe and stupid. It's the same way that like people on the opposite will say the same thing about the woke people. That
Yeah,
sometimes the
Wu-Tang
woke
Clan.
people have a point. They're just not very good at articulating it.
sure.
Yeah.
And as the saying goes, you will not be missed.
Alright, yeah, there, he did it. He fucking he fucking copied the thing Games Workshop said. What a fucking douchebag. Jesus.
Oh
It's
shit.
just lazy as well. Like, come on.
Are you annoyed, Will, that the woke moralists are angry?
In incoming,
No.
the Templin Institute
So that's his
Okay.
fucking weird avatar there, the man with the gas mask and the insignia is like all edgy with a
Okay.
sniper.
I only knew it was the insignia. I didn't know it was like a guy with a gas mask.
I don't...
Also, he's about to get sniped by the predator.
Yeah.
Excellent. Can't wait.
He's not even looking in the direction of the laser. It's just...
He's not even aiming at his heart yet. He's probably
He doesn't
You're
have a
looking for
heart,
his
it's
heart.
fine.
He does have a heart,
Oh my
yeah, he's
God.
like a droid or something.
which
Yeah.
discusses
I
the
don't know.
theories and ideas found across alternate worlds.
I just kind of want to see if he says anything else here. I don't
Join
think
other Templin Institute
Oh.
personnel on our Discord.
this place
Temple of
rocks.
Institute?
Help, they have my kids. This server's fantastic. 10 out of
Yeah.
10. I'm
Do
sure
not
glad I
harass
joined
this
this server.
person.
That's repeated. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Do not harass this person. Leave
Wasn't
them
planning on
alone.
doing.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
can-
Though.
I'm just saying as a disclaimer for the chat. No.
Don't like go too hard on
It's
him.
fine to laugh at him for his stupid arguments, but don't go hunting him down and posting in his fucking Discord or
Damn it.
whatever. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
He has Discord, damn, I'm on it.
All right.
Server, where discussions are held
Man, I love this server. Needs more text. Amazing.
daily on the elements of world building, spaceship design, the best method of cooking rice, and other critical
What?
issues affecting.
What's
Oh,
rice
yeah,
got to do
yeah.
with it?
It's him putting in some shitty humor.
Oh, he
Hang on,
just
Will,
ramen.
you didn't know that cooking rice is really important for sci-fi?
No, I did not know this.
Jesus, you
information.
called yourself a sci-fi fan, Will?
No, I've never called myself a sci-fi fan.
Oh my god, Will, what is wrong with you?
affecting alternate worlds. You'll find a link in the description.
Fuck's sake. Alright.
Hang on, why is it asking me to approve Mechanicus on duties post? This one. Oh, it's because he said the word molest. Okay,
Alright.
I'll let you.
God.
I'll let you determine whether or not that's okay. 'cause
Let
I-
me just go there.
Yeah.
See if I can approve it.
Why? Oh, I'm not
There
gonna
you go.
There you
I'll,
go.
I'll
Yeah.
approve that. That's kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah, I'm confused why it's putting that up to
YouTube
the thing.
like censors almost anything that's vaguely like unsensitive, I'd say, these days.
Oh, you sneezed in while on air. You must
Like I
have
said, there was
COVID.
a fella
Your
in-
sneeze offended
way
me.
back in the comments of our Carrot's creation video for Black Crusade, who took, you
Mm-hmm.
know, umbrage with us calling Tau communists and went on a tirade about that, and another guy responded to him,
What's wrong
basically,
with
basically
communism?
taking the piss out of him because he was basically saying, you know, communists make, you know, always blaming the libs for things and stuff. He had YouTube censor that for some reason. It's like, why?
Doesn't every party
Like, they
do
were
that
just
way?
having a healthy political, you know, discussion. Really, it wasn't that harmful or
Yeah.
bad. Anyway, let's
Yep.
get to the end of this, and then we'll have our brief
I
discussion.
think that is the end of it. It's just
It
like
did sound like the end, to be
music
fair.
Okay,
like
You
these
don't want
other
to get
videos.
copyrighted for that.
sure. I'll switch us to the Chiss Ascendancy thing again.
Kish.
Hold on. Hey, there we go. Back.
Yep.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. That was certainly a trip to get through.
I feel tortured. Where do I go apply to
Well,
get
took us an
my
hour and
money
a
for
half to
therapy?
get through. Will joined us for the
Yeah.
last few bits of it.
I didn't
Was
realise
nice.
I had a message until very late on.
It's
You
fine,
have
it
many
happens.
messages.
Yeah. We spammed you with stuff.
Yeah,
We kept spamming you with messages.
I noticed.
Hey, Arch and Sargon is streaming about this guy. Yeah, we did notice they'd scheduled
Yeah,
some
I mentioned
streaming about this earlier before we did it. Thankfully, we kind of finished it before they did. So by all means, go watch those guys and see.
Go
what their
watch
take is.
Arch and go
Sargon.
stream raid Arch and
So-
Sargon and
Yeah.
tell them that we tell them Master Stew and
He asked us to send.
yeah. Also don't forget to rub into Sargon that the Guard Academy Conquistadors was better than his D&D game. Remember Ritualist posted that
Yeah,
in
his
his
meme.
server?
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that was
yeah,
pretty
I
funny.
did want to have a brief kind of sum up of this whole thing.
Mhm.
I will say it wasn't the worst fucking video I've ever watched. Like, he had a few points that were fair, but overall he was just all over the place. He contradicted himself. Thank you,
Quite a
Stu,
bit.
guys. Have a good one. Yep, you too, buddy.
Yeah, have a
No
good one.
worries.
Bye.
He was pretty bad, honestly, this video, but again, he had a few alright points. It's just his whole tone throughout it, and he contradicted himself a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to really get 40k that well, I don't think, in some ways. But I could be wrong.
A lot of the issue
yeah.
was his attitude more than anything else.
Yeah. Because this was the big discussion we were going to have about Canon. Because we were going to kind of bring it up in the show when we were discussing the video, but I think it's easier if we leave it till the end.
Mhm.
Like, Canon means continuity, right? That's kind of the essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it is important, like he kind of brushed on it a little bit. It is important to have a strong, ironclad continuity for your story and setting.
Ironclad.
However, it is true also, though, that over time that can change and develop when different writers have a go at it or the times change. Because 40k has been around for, 30, 40 years?
Probably about 40 years.
Yeah, stuff
Yeah.
is going to change. That does happen. And that is, fairly acceptable. Some things get fleshed out more. Some things get added in and stuff. Some of it works. Some of it doesn't. Some of it's just, it's just what it happens in the creative process sometimes.
Would you like a definition on the word canon?
Sure, why not?
You can also, here it is in a sentence, the biblical canon.
Lord.
A general law, rule, principle, or creation by which something is judged, or a collection or list of sacred books accepted as genuine.
Interesting.
So I believe that the 40k books are sacred texts
Yeah, the
that are
Jesus
absolutely 100% correct and genuine.
But yeah,
There's
like I
nothing
said,
wrong.
having said all that, as
Yeah.
fans and people that enjoy the arts, you can absolutely
Yeah.
argue and disagree with aspects of it. That's part of the fun and part of your right as a fan. As what's this fella? Henry Cavill said that, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a fan's
Here's a
right
better-
to kind of say
Here's a
stuff.
better definition. A list of works considered to be primarily established as being of the highest quality.
Sure.
Primarily established. at the
That
highest
sums
quality.
up my Discord.
Yeah, the works of author or artists are recognized as genuine. It's just the ones
Yeah.
books published by GW.
On the
It doesn't matter
other
anyway.
hand, having said all that, where I just said important to have canon, but you can disagree with it.
Yeah.
When there is a problem when the canon changes so much that the overall, I think, theme and tone of the work changes drastically, like with 8th edition and post that 40k, where we've got Primaris running around with their grav tanks, we've got Marvel characters having fights, like, you know, fucking Gilliman having a fight with Mortarion. It's like, I'm gonna beat you up, bad guy. Fuck you. Oh, Mortarion's been cast into the warp and all that shit, and it's like he's gonna come back.
Mortarion and Iron Man.
Yeah,
up
yeah,
together.
Mortarion will return in the
Wait,
MCU.
but actually it
as a
happened.
bad guy. Yeah,
No.
new 40k is just full of shit like that, where it's like there's no
we're
war or
using
setting or human
Marvel.
conflict. It's
Okay.
just big tough guy beats up the other big tough guy and shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. It's
We're
just-
using Marvel as an analogy rather
No,
than
no,
a
I get it
literal.
now.
when you start making your stories like that and something like 40k, it drastically changes the tone of the work, and you kind of lose something when you do that. And that's an example of changing too much, I think, and going too far with it. So that's really, I think, a lot of our big contentions. Many of the old school kind of crowd have with 40k now. It's just been changed in a weird way that's not conducive, I guess is the word, to the what came before.
Like, I'm not even like that old in the lore. Like, I've only been learning about 40k for like 2 years now, and that was more so because of COVID. And you'd introduced me to it, and you know, I feel like I've learned quite a bit more than this lore YouTuber.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused, but okay.
Yeah. Any thoughts you have, Will, before I round us off? I know you didn't
I
join us
mean,
for
I don't
that.
actually know his reasoning for not liking female space marines because I don't only saw the end bit, but
Well, he likes female space marines. That's kind of the vibe from the
Okay.
video, at least, is what I would say. He's more supportive of the idea of them, and he's basically was trying to justify
I'm
it.
not against it.
But
but
it basically became
I can see there
big-
being issues,
well,
like the body size issue. Like they're going to be a lot smaller than the men. They're not going to fit in the armor the same way the men fit in the armor.
No comment.
I'll tell you what. We'll get into that another time. Damn,
They
it's
won't
15.
have boob armor.
We'll get into that another time, I think. I think I'll close us out unless you guys have got some other
Yeah.
thoughts to share.
I have one final thing I wish to say as my final message.
Sure.
Cadia stands.
Alright. There we go.
Well, welcome to a sorry.
Damn, it's 15 years I'm the same. Yeah, I've been in it since like 2008, I think. I played back in 4th edition. Like, so I've been in 40k for a long time and seen all the changes and stuff. Including the culture of the company change, which really pissed me off back in, like, I think it was 6th edition when that happened. When Games Workshop just really became a way worse company. They just stopped really caring about fans and stuff and the people that played it. And they just stopped supporting the hobbyists and just kind of went all corporate on everyone. And it's pretty sad and awful. And I'm kind of in this position where they can either go back to the way they were, which I think is unlikely, but if they do, great, that'd be awesome. Or they just continue on this corporate climb and they just eventually rot away into, like, obscurity, I think. Because I think other companies will beat them out eventually, even though they have a strong monopoly on the business. Because I think people long term are just going to stop caring about Games Workshop eventually, because it's just kind of run its course at this point. There's other alternatives out there, 3D printing, third party resins, all that good stuff. So my closing thought is, enjoy 40k for what it was and the stuff you liked about it. Don't focus so much on the stuff that's coming out now, because there's not a lot there that's worth buying into, really, any of the new books or new models, really. Just get the stuff you like and then leave it at that, I'd say. Play old systems, play play new games if you really like. You know, I've heard Star Wars has some pretty good systems, like Legion.
Play
Armada
Warhammer
and stuff.
Fantasy.
Play old Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully we'll maybe do some more videos in the future. And happy, I guess, New Year. A little bit late because I didn't get to say that earlier. So have a good one, fellas. See ya.